Welcome to Twin City Talk. Today we are talking with Adam Andrews. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
So you own quite a few restaurants in our area. Can you tell us a little about all of them?
Oh gosh, yeah.
You gotta be here.
Like a quick. Let's see. Let's start with Young Cardinal breakfast spot 8 to 3, 7 days a week now. We just started that. Dogwood Hops and Crops, mostly craft beer. The trophy room next door, bourbon bar. We have everything, but we specialize in bourbon. Twisted Pine, tacos, smash burgers, Jeffrey Adams. I don't want to say steakhouse, but a little bit of everything. Right on 4th.
And then you just opened the new one.
The Mercantile, which is in King, North Carolina. That's a steakhouse.
What was on 4th? What was that one?
On 4th Street?
Yeah, what did you just say on that?
Oh, the last one, the Mercantile Chophouse.
Oh, okay.
Which is in King. We just opened up New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun there.
It's really nice.
Very
Because
cool.
I just went. That table's really cool with the fire display.
So that's actually a water vapor with lighting. And it looks like flame. I'm sure you've seen
Yeah,
it.
it's
It's
very
cool
cool.
looking.
We put like a 12 top around, seat 12 people around it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I haven't been to Mercantile yet.
You can come check it
Yeah,
out.
I would definitely.
It's, small restaurant, 64 seats, right where I like it. Not too big. Just,
But big enough to justify.
right.
How
It's
big's
not
Jeffrey Adams?
3 level. Jeffrey Adams is 3 levels.
Is it 3?
But we don't use we call it the wine cellar, the basement.
That's
We
a
use that
special
like during
events.
specialty
Gotcha.
parties. I mean, they seat like, without the cellar, 170 people. So you pack that out, it's a lot. It's a lot of staff. Our kitchen's upstairs. You got run food down 2 flights of stairs,
Right.
which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a dumb waiter.
Yeah.
The trophy room is a really cool space. It's got its own vibe,
Yeah. So we're at like, I don't know, 7 years there now. I think 7 or 8 years there on
you can
Liberty Street.
talk about the little lockers that people, because that's pretty cool.
It's cool. We got a list long names who want one. We don't have any more, but you purchase a locker, so basically you can buy a bottle of liquor from us, right? So you're basically prepaying for what you're getting.
It looks cool too around the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we light those up, and then we, whatever name you want to put on it, get you a little plaque, you get a number, you get free mixers.
It's an adventure just walking around looking at the names on the plaques.
Oh my gosh. There are some crazy ones out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. We originally started with 12 lockers. And then we just kept building them and building them and building them.
How long have you been in the restaurant business?
It'd be 30 years.
30? Yeah.
Yes.
How'd you get started?
Town and Country and King washing dishes.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I tell the story a lot. I think Cite the One magazine, I did it last thing. But anyway, I was looking, I would look up the line and I see those guys cooking, a lot of action. And it's kind of crazy. I'm very lucky because I knew exactly what I wanted to do, right? When I was 15 years old, I knew I wanted to be in the restaurant business. Like I think maybe my creative writing class or something, I wrote a paper on what my restaurant's going to look like. And
do you still have that paper?
I wish I did. It'd be funny. But
would be.
Do you have the restaurant in that paper?
Not necessarily. I mean, you're talking when was this? 1996. I think I had a lot of plants around. It's crazy. I just, I feel sorry for some of these kids who don't know what they want to do in life. And I just feel fortunate that I knew what I wanted and I had a dream, I had a goal, and I did it. And I always tell people, like these younger kids growing up, if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. 'Cause I barely passed high school. Like, it's my work ethic that got me there.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
it,
like,
right?
if you don't have it, it's not going to happen.
What's your favorite part of the business?
I used to say people. That's changed. Man, I like just the action. I get bored really easily, right? Just the action thing, working under pressure. my staff, like I really love. I wouldn't say I'm really a people person, but you know, the family feel of having a staff, and you know, you got some young people that you train, you bring up, and you know, it's amazing to see. You know, where this kid started with me when he was 15 years old, and now he's one of my kitchen managers at 24. You know, things like that. I really enjoy seeing that, making a difference in someone's life for the positive.
More challenging part of it?
Not enough time in the day. Don't get enough time with my family. Miss a lot of soccer games, basketball games. Just little stuff. I was gonna go to a concert tonight, right? Nirvana cover band at Ramcat. Very excited. Hour ago, Chef, I can't come in. I had a death in the family, right? Stuff like that. So who's gonna cover it? It's
Chef.
me. Yeah. That's the only hardest part.
Yeah.
And you know, you work every day. Every day, I go to a lot of concerts, and when I have enough staff, I always, we'll go to Asheville or Charlotte. And so those are, if I don't have a family function, that's like my time off work. Otherwise, I'm there. And with all these places, you have to be there. To me, unless you just have the bomb ass manager that is like you, and that's very hard to find. But yeah, I think being in there and working the line, there's not a job I would ask of someone that I would not do myself, right? So yeah, that's the hardest part.
How many employees do you have across all of your restaurants and businesses? Because I guess you wouldn't say Dogwood or Trophy Room would be a restaurant.
I don't know. I mean, not as many as you would think. Well, with the catering company,
I forgot about Easy
maybe
Tiger.
100. Yeah, we have a catering company too. Yeah, maybe around 100.
You forgot about Easy Tiger. You didn't mention that.
Oh yeah, Easy Tiger.
Because that's a new one.
That's a new one. Yeah, that one's cool.
It's a cool
we got
space,
great
too.
outdoor.
Oh, the letters. Talk about the letters. That's cool.
Oh yeah, those came from the Winston Tower building.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David. So actually, Easy Tiger was me and David, Joey, and Austin. We just basically say, oh yeah, let's just go in together. None of us really have time for it, right? So 4 of us went in together on that, and we all went in 25% and said, all right, let's do this. None of us going to make money, but at least we have somewhere to have a beer. I've been there twice since we've opened. So yeah, it's not working out for me. But yeah.
Do you spend more of your time at any one location, or are you constantly bouncing?
So right now I am. I mean, I'll bounce if they need me. Before I opened the Mercantile in King, like I was full-time catering. Legacy Stables, that I'm their in-house caterer there, so they do a lot of stuff. So I built a catering kitchen down in the basement of Young Cardinal, and I have a chef now, but I would still help out there. But right now it's full-time Mercantile, and I love cooking breakfast. I love flipping eggs. I really miss being at Young Cardinal. I haven't cooked there in since we opened. I mean, Mercantile was the New Year's Eve, so I've been there since we've opened. So one of these days I'll get back once I get a staff.
What's your favorite food to make?
Man, I don't know. I'm not a frou chef. That I just like the business, and I like to put out good food, simple food. I love cooking eggs because we do our eggs in egg pans, right? So literally use 2 saute burners to do the eggs, right? That's it. I've always prided myself on that. 'Cause some guys are like, oh, you only do it with 2 burners, and this guy's got 5 going with 5 pans. I pride myself of being a fast egg cooker. So, I use 2 of them, right? So that's kind of like my favorite. And, cooking steaks here lately at the Mercantile Chophouse, like, you kind of get burnt out on certain things, and you go do something different. You get burnt out on that. And so it's really cool to come back and get back on the grill at the Chophouse and grill steaks. So
That's an art.
that is
Cooking
an
a
art.
steak
It
is
is.
an art.
And especially when you have these big ass 25 ounce
Right?
bone in,
Yeah.
dry age ribeyes that you can't screw up.
I was going to say.
Right?
Yeah,
Because you're going to lose.
mess up a couple of eggs, you're all right.
Yeah.
But
When it comes to big steaks, well, not these days.
Well,
You lose any egg.
Yeah.
I mean, even that diner is adding a 50-cent per egg.
Waffle House.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You allowed to say that on here? Yeah.
yeah. I was just out of respect for you, was not going to say that.
Oh, no, that's fine. Listen, I text the dude that types up my menus last Friday. I'm like, all right, so if I need to do a menu change for Young Cardinal and go up, how fast can we get this done? And then, I thought about it. I'm like, all right, Young Cardinal is pretty expensive to begin with. It is an expensive breakfast. So I think I'm just going to wait this one out. I'll take the bite on it and not raise prices. But eggs have, as you know, more than doubled,
Yeah.
Yeah,
tripled.
Yeah.
yeah. And there's a bird flu right now. That's
That's cost.
and then that's also affecting some dairy cows. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So we'll see what happens. The food chain's really weird, man. I mean, we try to keep local. We have our own farm that we grow a lot of our produce from.
yeah, I was about to ask about that because I know you have your own.
We've expanded. Like, we have another greenhouse. I hired a farm manager. So my stuff that was in King that we were growing, my greenhouse and stuff, we're going to move that to her land in Salisbury. And she just put up like a, 50 by 100 greenhouse we put together.
Wow.
We didn't put it together. We paid to put it together, but she is running that. So now we're growing our lettuces, tomatoes, all of our microgreens. And this is the first time for us doing it in the wintertime. It's pretty exciting. I did a fresh mozzarella tomato salad the other night in King because those greenhouse tomatoes, were just so damn good. And I'm like, this is weird in the middle of winter, but we have it. This is fresh.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Nice.
We don't promote it as much as we should, but next to Twisted Pine, all of our peppers and a lot of our tomatoes, all the herbs for the bar, we grow all that shit, and it's cool. That's something I wish I had more time to do.
It's very
full
cool.
time.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's fun. Especially when you didn't know what you're doing. I read a book, Gardening for Dummies, started it off, and now, we have a farm manager. It's great.
You need to get chickens for your eggs.
I know. It's crazy. There's a guy in Stokes County that he does a lot of local eggs. Anyway, we've been talking, and I think all my eggs at Young Cardinal is about to be straight from him, which is great.
Yeah.
Probably something I won't promote, but that's,
Yeah.
just like my beef at Twisted Pine. All these cows I'm buying for the steakhouse, all that grind that comes out of a cow, the ground beef grind, it's 300 pounds, right? So what am I going to do with all this? Yeah, it's cheaper to buy that cow, right? But for example, beef tenderloin, you're going to get 2 beef tenderloins out of the cow. You can sell that in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What about all this other stuff? That's where we got to get creative, and we do, specials, like the skirt steak and just all kinds of stuff. And if we can't get rid of it, we ground it, right? Grind it up, make burger patties. They all go to Twisted Pine. So all that is the home-raised cattle. It doesn't say it on my menu. I don't talk about it much. But I think it's pretty cool, too. We're just basically going the circle, right?
And it's also staying in the community, which is great.
Yep.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Yep.
You should promote that more. That's important.
I know. I just, you know what? I'm too busy.
Yeah.
I'm too busy grilling steaks and stuff, flipping eggs.
I got a person.
Yeah, I need somebody to start pushing this stuff.
And so what do you love about Winston-Salem?
Man, you know what? The growth of it's cool. Let's see, I grew up in Rahal. I went to culinary school in Pittsburgh. I moved back here as a chef at the filling station when I was 22 or 23. So I remember when Sweet Potatoes opened up that restaurant, and everybody's like, "Oh
so
my
sad
God,
they
what's
closed.
going on? What is this?" And then just to see the growth,
Yeah.
even down to the West End of your place. I mean, the Innovation Quarter, and it's going to keep moving. I think it's cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah, there's good people
and
here.
it keeps going, and
Yeah.
the people, like you said, everybody seems to just have everybody's back. They want to see the expansion. Everybody's for it. And I mean, some of these areas where stuff is popping up, like the grounds, for instance, when we were talking about that not long ago. No, any direction you want to go in, usually something gravitates to a certain area, you know, and it's not. It's all just kind of going in every direction. It's really cool, cool to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. The ground's gonna be cool.
Yeah. I don't like using the what's your favorite. But if you were going to Young Cardinal right now, what would you order?
Oh man, me personally.
Yeah, I mean, just right now.
I'm a simple guy. I'm a 2 eggs, bacon, hash brown kind of guy.
How do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
Same.
That's me too.
That's what I get when I go
The
to
way
Young
with
Cardinal.
rancheros is good. I know you're a fan of
That's
that.
my favorite. That's one of my favorite dishes in the entire town.
The burrito, I think, is good. I think having some options to where you're building to me, like to be able to go in somewhere and build your own omelet's gangster, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people can't pull that off because it's just, it's a lot of work for the cooks. It's a lot of organization for the expos to put those items up in a row so that the outside expo can get those in order. It's a lot of work, and I think that's exciting there. So yeah, just building your own stuff I think is cool. We can do that with the hash brown bowl. We can do that with the grit bowl. There's just a lot of options.
How about Twisted Pine?
Gonna have to go with the burger there.
Yeah,
This one
smash
sounds funny.
burger.
I like the Young Cardinal burger. It's got hash browns, American cheese, bacon, fried egg,
Yeah.
mayonnaise.
It's everything you want plus the burger.
Yes.
Jeffrey Adams.
Ribeye, 14 ounce, or actually the beef risotto. It's beef risotto with wild mushrooms, sauteed spinach, caramelized onions, and then it's beef tenderloin tips, and then we put a demi-glace on top of the tips. It's just a great flavor combination. There's a Moroccan stew. My chef there, John, he was my sous chef until I opened up the Mercantile, put it that way, and now he is the head chef, and he's amazing. And some of the dishes he is doing is just like I give him free reign. Like he'll run something by me. I'm like, dude, listen, I trust you. Just do it, man. You don't have to ask me.
Yeah.
I don't even have to taste it, man. I trust you. And he has done some really cool things. And I think our menu there has stepped up a notch, to be honest. One thing I've always say about there is it's not fine dining. It's not mom and pops. It's just kind of right in the middle. You can get a good steak and you can get a good burger. You can get a good salad.
It's fine casual.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
I should use that in my...
You should.
When you start promoting for me,
There we go.
remember that. Fine casual.
Fine casual.
And then finally the Mercantile. What would you order there?
I think I'm a big fan on the seafood side of the red grouper there. I would get a dry aged steak. So in that, I don't know if you know, but in that building, we leased a spot to Mitchell's, and it's a butchery, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually have a dry aged cabinet in the dining room, and so we hang up beef and we let it go for 3 weeks, and then those guys will take it, carve it up for us, and those are our features every night. Some nights we don't have some, but that's a local farmer that's raising cows just for us, which is awesome. So any of the dry aged meat, I think I would go for.
Excellent.
We got cool drink menu. Sorry, I'm not trying to promote. Sorry.
Well, that's why we're here.
It's like the thing about this place is, I wanted it small, I wanted it intimate, I wanted it to have the old school look. So I got the bulb lighting, I got the wallpaper, I got the red chair, fabric on the chair is red. Kind of like that old school steakhouse feel, without being too pretentious and keeping it affordable. And I think King had a need for a place like that, in my opinion.
Definitely. Yeah.
There's great restaurants. Town and Country, John Vlas's, who is one of my closest friends, he owns a restaurant down the road. That's where I grew up, working in his restaurant. They do a good job. You got Little Italy across the street, but
Look.
I think, between Winston and King, you go up University Parkway, there's really just not a lot of restaurants that's not fast food.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting out there, seeing Mercantile.
Dude, you need to come check it out. And,
It is.
the part of the old school, like, listen, all those buildings that are right there, and there's like, I don't know, 12. Man, they've been empty for years, or it's like some weird something in there. There's Haley's Bakery, which is there. I can't remember. There's a bakery literally right beside her, and then there's 2 restaurants, and there's another bar being built across the street. We're getting a brewery behind us.
Oh, cool.
So you're talking about a small town popping off
All at the same time. It
all
sounds
at the
like.
same time, which would be awesome.
Yeah, they definitely need some growth there, so that's good.
And
Yeah, that part of town was a ghost town, really.
it was. Yeah, I mean the
And
building.
it's a cool area.
It is.
It is a cool little
and
area.
it is growing. Like I think they're building like 6 neighborhoods right now. So there's a lot of pushback from what I call king folk of
Yeah.
seeing the area grow, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's part of
You're
life.
taking my small town away.
Yeah,
We want Kang, not King.
that's right. That's another item. I put on the appetizer, King shrimp.
King Kang shrimp.
Yeah, it's actually on the menu.
Nice.
I didn't know if anybody would get that. I thought it was funny.
We get it.
Yeah, we get it.
You guys
yeah.
get it.
Yeah. People from Winston get it because we know
Right.
it's
Well, even in
Kang.
King, they say King, as a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, growing area. And I don't know, it's cool. It's kind of like the good old boys there. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in Rehoboth, I went to Stokes County schools, and, once again, just like Winston, very nice people. And, we did as much as the construction on the building with all local folks. And I don't know, it's just nice. It's a good feeling to have that local support.
Yeah. Bring a community in to do the build and the community rallies around it.
Yeah,
It's a really nice.
It's,
Yeah.
something you see in a movie, like for real. It's crazy.
Well, at one point, obviously, it was thriving, or those buildings wouldn't have already been there. So bringing it all back like that is, that's a return to glory that it once was,
Right.
and it deserves to be. So I love that stuff.
So I think the building I bought, it's where the Mercantile is. It was I think it had been out of business for a couple of years, but it was a furniture store / ammo. So you can go buy furniture, and then they built like a room this size inside the building, inside the furniture room,
With the
that you
shooting.
can buy ammo. I always say, only in King can you see something like that. It's crazy.
Get a lazy boy and AR-15.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Sit back in your recliner and shoot things
And it's
up.
called Terry's Furniture. And so I got
Sounds right.
always, if anybody who doesn't really know the area that well, they're like, well, which building was it? I'm like, the furniture in the ammo building.
Was there a
Got it.
Western
They
Auto
know,
there?
What's that?
Was there a Western Auto there?
I think that's the hardware store that was behind us.
Okay.
At some point back
Okay.
in the day. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what's next? Well, what's Adam up to after all
What's
this?
after this?
All right. So
I love that this place has been open a month and a half. And it's like, well, I just say I am.
I
What's
try to
next?
do something once a year if I can.
Yeah.
Is that great? I'm actually leasing a space in Advance right now since November that I'm paying lease for that I haven't gotten open yet. But yes, Twits Upon sells a lot of burgers. But the more beef steaks that I sell in King, the more ground beef I'm getting. So I have a place that I'm going to turn into a burger joint. I love for somebody to come and just run that thing and be partners or make either a great salary or owner salary or partner up or something. It could be a great gig for somebody. But I think burgers, hot dogs, simple, nice, good, quick food. I won't take the location yet in case it falls through, but
Sure.
I'm paying for it month to month right now. And then, I really want to do another Young Cardinal.
Do you know where, like area-wise?
I wanted to do one on Robin Hood Road, but they already have a breakfast spot just opened up not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
And I've been saying for the last 3 years, Robin Hood Road, Robin Hood Road, Robin Hood Road. But I don't have deep pockets, so I couldn't just make that happen. And I don't really like to partner up with anybody. I like to do it myself. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
How about Kernersville? Anything in Kernersville? Yeah. All right.
I can't talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, Kernerville's another great area.
They're growing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
We'll call it won't be Winston-Salem anymore. It'll be Adam Andrews.
I think I'm done downtown Winston, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'd be
There's lots
mad
of
at
areas of
myself to do
Winston,
something else. Like, you know when you like get tired of yourself, you run out of ideas. Like, you know what? I'm 44 now. Like, I don't want to. Not take that back. I'm always thinking, but I don't want to work so hard of trying to come up with a concept. You know, take something that's successful and maybe put it somewhere else. And I think that's the path I need to go through now.
So how can people find out about all your restaurants?
AndrewsRestaurantsWS.com. That has a link to everything.
Gotcha. That's great. It's all in one place. And you're on all social medias, I'm assuming.
Yep. Courtney does all of our social media.
So people can find you there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, which, we don't do a whole lot of posting on the Mercantile. I know you're big in social media, but it just makes me sick. Like when I first opened the Mercantile, I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing social media. I'm not doing Facebook. I'm not doing Mercantile. I'm not going to do Instagram. I'm not doing any of that because I get so tired of people's mouths.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Let's just not do social media. And then one of my bartenders like, you really got to, Adam. This is the way of the world. And I'm like, no, I get it. But anyway, so we do have an Instagram account for Mercantile. We don't have Facebook. And I think we made like 2 or 3 posts. But I would love just to see like, okay, what will you do without Instagram and Facebook? Are you going to be successful? We were back in the day, right? Restaurants did their thing without social media. I would love to prove like, all right, we do 0 social media and we're still a successful restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to prove that. I may take my Instagram account down today. Y'all got me worked up.
Oh, jeez.
Can I join you?
Yes, let's do it.
I think when you were on another podcast, you got all worked up.
I did.
Yeah.
With Brooke.
Yes.
Jeez.
I get worked up at people because they don't know the effort you put in.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
They don't know. And you try to like make things perfect, like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at work at yesterday for 15 hours. I didn't sit down. I didn't eat for 15 hours yesterday, 14 hours. At that 15 hour, I had a beer. But I worked my ass off, you know? For somebody to come and bash some stuff that, you know, maybe one of my cooks messed up, whatever. Like you had said earlier, you're not in the business for bashing.
Right. I build up.
Right. Yeah. Build up. There's too much bashing. There's too many self-proclaimed food critics. There's, you know, I just wish if you have to work in a restaurant, if you are only allowed to leave a review if you have worked in a restaurant for a year, either a server or a cook, you got to know what you're talking about. But some of these idiots, they don't know what they're talking about. They just blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's even worse than that, right? You know, anybody with an opinion now will take social media, but to validate their existence or whatever. And it's like the things that kill me are if you went up to the counter, you know, and said, "Hey, hate to complain, but here's the issue, whatever," and somebody treated you poorly, didn't fix your problem, didn't care, whatever. You know, okay, maybe you've got a grievance. Still don't think it needs to be aired to everybody, but whatever. But
Right.
stuff that kills me is when people say nothing, do nothing, and then they want to take it to social media and make some
And
giant
then bash
deal
it.
out of nothing. And you're going, did you even ask for, you know, somebody to take a look or correct or, you know, hear you out? No, most of the time that's not the case. They just want to be important.
Yeah,
So,
they have
needed to be
diarrhea
important.
of the mouth and want to just spout out and don't care. And they have their people who are their minions who will get on there. Yeah, I didn't like that place anyway. And, you know, it's all that stuff. And it helps nobody except
Right.
for the people doing it. It makes them
Feel
feel
important
important.
when they're not.
Right.
Yeah.
You
I
know, hear
mean,
a
if
funny
you want to
story?
get on that.
This happened last week. Dude at the bar at the Mercantile. We have 9 or 10 seats at the bar, right? We have 2 bartenders. Clearly, they are paying attention to their guests. They know what's going on. So I'm in the kitchen. My manager came, and she had a half of a steak in a black beverage napkin. And she said, "This fell out of a guy's pocket going out the door. I thought it was a frog, but it's a piece of beef in a napkin." So I'm like, that's weird. Maybe he's trying to take it home or whatever. And then later on that night, there's a review, and the guy said, Oh no! On his ticket, his receipt paper, he said my steak was cooked raw. I left it at the front door, and I asked my bartender. I'm like, "Hey, yo," because that's who it came from. I'm like, "Did you? Clearly, you're right there. Did you check them?" Yeah, they said everything was great. Everything was fine. He was very confused. This guy puts a steak in his pocket and just drops it at the front door on purpose, and then goes online and starts bashing about how nobody knew his steak was undercooked. Right? Guess what? It happens. Sometimes a steak's gonna be undercooked.
Not for me.
Every once in a while, yeah. Or overcooked. It doesn't happen much, but it does. You know, at our place, I mean, we strive on no recooks. Me and my guys in the kitchen. It's kind of like
Look what what are you cooking? You're cooking high dollar stuff.
Yes.
You know, so you can't afford to mess it up.
No.
Maybe one.
Like you lose one steak, you got to sell like 4 more to make up for that, right?
Yeah.
But that's just crazy. People won't just say something to somebody.
Just say
like,
something.
Oh, this
You know why? Because they'd rather complain.
I know that's true.
They'd rather complain.
They're addicted to outrage.
Yeah, that's
It's-
Well, he
it's
got
a
me.
really
He
weird
threw a
place.
steak on the floor.
that's crazy.
Got me. Got me.
Drat.
Yeah.
You ever read Theodore Roosevelt's "It's Not the Critic Who Counts"? Oh, read that. It's
Is it
like this
good?
long. Oh yeah, it's just a quote from him. I've actually got it on my studio wall.
That's cool.
I had it written down on the wall. Basically, it's just it's not the critic who counts. It's the doer of deeds. It's the person who's in the arena. It's called Man in the Arena. And it's the person in the arena who, whether they succeed or whether they fail, they've made a difference by trying. And they'll never be with those timid souls who have never known victory or defeat. It's so good. If you haven't, read that, go read that. It's really cool. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a classic.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry I went on a rant.
No.
Are you kidding me?
We
This is the best
like
part.
rants.
Hell yeah.
We like
I
rants.
told Tim like one of these a couple months ago, last year. I'm like, dude, we need to do like a real life restaurant, like just
Please come to me.
It's not
Let's
a lot
do
of
it.
time, man, but that would be awesome.
That would be.
Like the real stories. Like, give to me, it's entertaining. Like,
Yeah.
Come,
some
we'll do it
stories.
one time a month. We'll do 4 episodes one time a month. That's all we got to do.
We'll just pick up just have one each. See, that's why I can't do this stuff. Like I got the vocabulary of a second grader. One time,
But you have
one
the
time.
wisdom of at least
sage.
Well, I
a
don't know about
sage.
wisdom,
So
but I got
the experience.
But yeah, I think that would be cool. I mean, just to bring different chefs in or restaurants owners and then tell
Coffee
the
shop
stories. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure y'all may already do that like all the time, right? Don't you do the?
I haven't. So let's get back to it.
But I mean, the nitty gritty, dirty stuff that you just like.
Let's do
Like
it.
leaving steaks on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I have the forum.
All right. Well,
Good
thank
to talk to you, man.
Yeah, thank
Really
you.
enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
All right.
again.
I'm out of here. I'm going to King, North Carolina.
Hold on.
done?
Thanks for joining Twin City Talk. You can find us
Oh,
on
yeah, it's
Instagram and Facebook. The views and opinions portrayed by guests on this podcast are not necessarily those of the distributors and hosting companies. And if you love this podcast, that's great, but don't think about stealing it. Reach out to us and talk about the content because it is copyrighted.